Life in cinema ki hai dua. In moments of solitude, I sit and wonder if this is what I had wanted from life. I always knew that I wanted to become an actor in this lifetime, but I didn't imagine in my wildest dreams the Bharat and Bharatis that would accompany the fulfillment of this ambition. In a big fat Punjabi wedding, there are a few people you really love and respect. There are also many who have to be acknowledged and treated well just because they are elders and are somehow connected to the family tree. Till this point, there aren't too many worries and things are under control. The problem begins when the guest list explodes and people who you didn't even know existed are attending your wedding and raiding the bar as if they have paid for the mandap. Now think of the immediate family as my co-stars, directors, technicians and all others involved with the film in any way. They deserve all the love and respect. The troublemakers are usually those who have nothing to do with me beyond being spectators of my films. The gossip mongers are the ones who really drive me up the wall. The trailer of Nautanki Sala had just about released and was getting varied reactions. Some liked me, some were talking about the kissing scene, and thankfully, many loved the songs, especially Sadi Gali, composed by Rochak and me, that had started topping the charts. That was when the Kunal Kohli controversy erupted and malicious talks about success having gone to my head started doing the rounds. This was just one of the dozen things that were being written and spoken about me at that time. I can't clarify my stand to everybody, but I did what I could. I know it sounds strange coming from me who once made a living out of talking to and about movie stars, making fun of them and their films, but as the saying goes, karma is a bitch. The biggest setback of being the interviewee is that you have no control over the questions that will be asked. No matter what reply you give, the interviewer will go ahead and publish his own version of the statement. This then leads to a series of reactions to the published word, starting from your own staff and going right up to those hobnobbing at page 3 parties. While I can still understand speculations about the changing equation between Tahira and me, what really upset me was the rumor of my death. Frankly speaking, it just amused me and gave me a moment of cheap thrills as I had joined the list of celebs who were rumored to be dead while being still alive and kicking. But it also had some unpleasant consequences. Once the news of my supposed death reached my family back home in Chandigarh, they were obviously shocked and shattered. My grandfather, who is a heart patient, didn't know how to react, but thankfully they called me up immediately and could finally breathe again after they realized I wasn't dead, as some sections of the media would have them believe. Phew. Getting back to the list of the annoying Bharatis, one bunch I really dislike are those who want to make a quick buck just off the fact that they know me from somewhere. I wouldn't mind them making money off me if they were kind enough to share the loot. But alas, while I was shooting for Bewkufia in Delhi, right before I was about to give my shot, my phone rang and I got to know that our male domestic help had committed suicide. That was one scary phase of my life. To make matters worse, one silly friend called me up to tell me, "Tu to yaar sachi star ban gaya." I was quite bewildered. I thought it would be an empathetic call out of concern. On asking him what he meant, he said, "अरे यार, चोरी डकैती तो कॉमन लोगों के घर होते हैं, रेप्स और सुसाइड स्टार्स के घर." I was shocked, and I will leave it at that. Another crazy one was when I was asked if I was supposed to be in Delhi that evening to promote my upcoming film, Bewkufia, along with my co-star Sonam Kapoor. The said event was called Hold Your Breath. Holy shit! It was a dance party to celebrate Holi. Talk about creativity. Shit. But how could we be in Mumbai and Delhi simultaneously? It was too short a notice to even arrange for body doubles. The organizers had publicized the event on social media and had sold tickets to make shitloads of money. We didn't even know about this development. Enthusiastic fans and followers were looking forward to being a part of a star-studded holy dance party or whatever it was. Thanks to the ever-efficient PR machinery of YRF, however, immediate damage control was done. I'm not sure if the organizers returned the money to those who had bought the tickets, but yes, these are the lengths that people go to make money. Thanks to the fortress that YRF afforded me, these scams gradually stopped. There are few more in the list of annoying Bharatis, but enough of them. Oh wait, there is one incident I can't not mention. This Bharatis made me pay a heavy price once. We were shooting for Nautanki Sala at a studio in Kandivali when we were informed that some ruffians had smashed my car and some vanity vans. We later got to know a security guard who was just doing his job bruised one man's ego by not letting his car pass through. The man, who belonged to a political party, decided to vent out his anger by calling other goons and smashing cars and other expensive things lying in the vicinity. No one had done any wrong, but we ended up paying through our respective noses. Anyway, that's enough about my sob stories. A watershed moment in my life was when I was offered a 3 film deal with YRF. The 3 letters YRF mean the world to me, especially as an actor in Bollywood. One would have to be in acute denial if these 3 letters didn't inspire awe. Just like every other actor walking the street of the western suburbs of Mumbai, I too wanted to be associated with the YRF label in any which way. Even before the release of my second film, my ex-boss at MTV, Ashish Patil, who, as I have mentioned before, is the CEO of Y Films and head of talent management in YRF, offered me a 3 film deal with the biggest and the most reputed production house of the country. No isn't even an option when the offer comes from YRF. So, despite not having liked the script that was offered to me all that much, I signed on the dotted line without as much so blinking an eye. Just getting to shake hands with the almost mythical Aditya Chopra was a mean feat in itself, one that I will narrate to my grandkids someday. Once the initial euphoria of this masterstroke of luck had settled, my world changed. I was not Oi Vicky or a sperm donor anymore, at least not in the power corridors of B-Town. It was as if I had put on weight. I couldn't feel the weight, but somehow others could see it. Not that I ever threw my weight around, but suddenly I was being taken seriously. I never take myself seriously though, I swear. Despite all that was happening, the fact remained that I was still the simpleton from Chandigarh that I always was. I couldn't plan, strategize, or do any of those intelligent sounding things my contemporaries apparently did. I wouldn't kill for a role. At most, I would humbly request the director to allow me to audition for the part. The best thing to happen to me post signing the deal with YRF is that I don't feel like an outsider anymore. The fraternity feels like family. It's another thing that I still get starstruck when Shah Rukh Khan enters the room. Some things just don't change. Having said that, it feels like I'm in a very happy and positive space, especially every time I enter the YRF studio. Now it feels like home. In this cutthroat world of showbiz, the one thing that gives me a high is the music I create with my dear childhood friend and partner in crime, Rochak. We started our journey almost simultaneously, years before Pani Da Rang became a rage thanks to Vicky Donor. Little did we know how far would we go together in life. It feels like yesterday that we sat together and created the song back in college. Together, Rochak and I have composed many songs that we plan to release gradually, maybe in the films that I act in or perhaps as singles, like my first single, O Hiriye, and now Mitti Di Khushbu. Music has been a balancing factor in my life, quite like the way my family keeps me grounded. Making music makes me happy, very happy. The kind of music that we make brings a smile to the listener's face. It makes them feel good about the world around them. I want to continue making music and will always remain an actor-singer. I am often asked how my collaboration with Rochak works so seamlessly. The question always makes me smile. I think no creative collaboration can work without friction. If there is no friction, perhaps something isn't right there. Maybe it is the sign of creative stagnation. We have our fair share of disagreements. It's just that the tabloids don't get to know about it. For us, our music is above everything. Talking about creative collaboration reminds me of my equation with Sujit Da. Here again, it isn't about box office figures or anything to do with money. Many were surprised to see my name in the end credits of Madras Cafe, that too as an assistant director. It wasn't as if Sujit Da was falling short of assistance. I assisted him to satiate my need for understanding cinema from close quarters. I wanted to be in a place where I could just learn without worrying about my hair and makeup. If Sujit Da doesn't cast me in a film of his, I will never hold it against him. I know that he will cast me only if I fit the bill. Not just fit the bill, but fit the bill to the T. You will understand what I am saying when you see our next collaboration. Agra Ka Dabra. I have utmost respect for his craft and will never let go of an opportunity to learn from him in whatever capacity he allows me to be associated with his projects. Please don't jump to the conclusion that I harbor any hope of turning director. I don't. At least not as long as people want to watch me act, and definitely not as long as I keep getting good scripts. I'm an actor and would like to hang my boots with the makeup still on my face and Uday, my spot boy, fuzzing over me. Well, there's still a long way to go for all that. Coming back to the present, I wonder if I would want my life to play out the way it did. Is there anything at all that I would like to change if I could? My mind doesn't wait for even a heartbeat to reply no. I don't want anything to change. It has been an amazing ride and I have enjoyed every bit of it. Perhaps. I wish Darshan, my driver for the last 5 years, had better presence of mind. Come on, let's change that right way. Jokes apart, through he is a nice guy, just that he is a bit of scatterbrain. Every now and then, people ask me how I manage my life between two cities. My family is in Chandigarh and my work in Mumbai. I love Chandigarh and keep going back at every opportunity I get. Tahira is the balancing factor in my life, the anchor that keeps me grounded. She is the reason I am happy. If you ever spot me smiling like a goofy idiot, I must be thinking about her and the wonderful moments that we have shared. And the kids, if you look at my son, you would never be able to associate the name Virajveer with his face. If happiness was a human being, it would be him. And not to forget that the latest diva to enter the Khurrana family, my little bundle of joy, Varushka. I feel really blessed every day, touch wood, and I have no qualms in admitting that I am indeed the youngest father in the industry. Code #15. Of all the codes that one cracks, the emotional code is the most important one. You could be the richest or the most powerful human being in the world, but if you are not at peace with your emotional side, everything else is worthless. I'm not even talking about how you feel for your spouse or your partner. Even if you are single and are at a peace with your inner demons, you are mostly sorted.